afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, November 20th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. The experience of bliss is happening to someone somewhere right now. This very moment on this planet. Meditate, focus, and tune into those beings who are already there. And imagine what they are doing, how they are being in this world today. Let their experiences of bliss seep into your mind and your life. Write in your manifesting journal descriptive sensations and experiences. Don't rely on the mind for liberation. Nisargadatta. There is an amazing infinite universe all around us. Outer space extends far beyond what we can see with any high-tech cosmic telescope, which can view star systems 13 billion light years away. This incredible universe is also a living, breathing experience that extends infinitely within us. It continues deeper beyond the atomic quantum particles, which are amazing, yet ancient electron microscopes can barely see. And when we look inside ourselves on a conscious level, using our minds to explore who we truly are, what we discover is yet another realm of infinity. Inside our minds, there are memories piled upon memories. Beliefs within beliefs, all stacked to infinity. For every new thought that is coming, they're forming right now, there are a dozen new thoughts soon to follow. Just sit down on some lazy Sunday afternoon to spiritually investigate who you really are. And you'll find you can ascend and descend forever within the deepest realms of your very soul. However, what I find most fascinating inside of this infinite mystery is in the relationship that's manifesting between our inner world and the outer universe. It behaves something like a perpetual reflection in a mirror. Whatever is happening within our inner world is attracting, magnetizing, and manifesting what we are experiencing in our outer world. To figure that out, how sensitive that can be. Because how many of us know who and what we are? So all the turmoil within, because of not being able to identify and then living on the outside world, we're constantly creating things. That's where a lot of things come into our lives where we go, where did that come from? We manifested it, but we don't know it. For example, if I'm in a good mood today, all I see are happy, smiling faces wherever I go. And amazing opportunities seem to effortlessly float my way. Then if I fall down into an emotional dumpster, the face of every person has nothing but gloom and doom smeared all over it. And it feels like my entire life is about to collapse. Now, the law of attraction is unavoidable. Whatever we are feeling and feeding into emotionally on the inside is somehow always materializing into whatever we see, experience, and physically attract in our outer world. Another example of how the infinite reflection is showing up in our lives is how it manifests in our relationship with others. The more love, compassion, and acceptance we have for ourselves, the easier it is to have compassion, love, and acceptance for others. Or it's always that one thing which we absolutely dislike and cannot stand about the other, which is reflecting some part inside ourselves that we don't want to own or accept. If I'm upset at my neighbor for being too dominating, controlling, and aggressive instead of having compassion with him, then when I take a closer look inside myself, I will see how I'm not okay with those parts of myself that feel too dominating, controlling, or aggressive. It's all a deep and yet transparent mirror. Our inner world is an extension of our outer universe, and the outer world is an extension of our inner universe. This means that life extends into infinity in every direction and dimension. Our inner and outer universes are never separate. Even though our physical bodies appear to be a completely isolated entity, it is not. We live in one sacred ocean of energy. There simply is just one universe that extends for infinity into the other realms in all directions and interdimensions. So we're extension upon extension. The 50th universe is an extension of this universe. And it does not mean that those are synthetic universes, like this one. We contain the wet and salty qualities of the entire ocean, and yet we are just a single drop in it. The oceanic waves are always moving us, flowing through us, as us. He who thinks he is the doer is also the sufferer, from Maharishi. The essential problem most people are having with life, with this life, is that they are not reaching deep enough inside themselves to reconnect with their actual living, breathing, infinite, spiritual essence. Our spiritual nature is a real thing. It is our most basic reality. It is what keeps our hearts beating and our breath breathing and our life force moving through each and every one of us in every moment of existence. We don't have to breathe. Our body does it for us. The same as with our spiritual essence. It is living and creating through our physical bodies, unfolding its essential karmic programming within this great cosmic playground. It's good to know that suffering happens only when the mind gets in the way. That's the only time it happens. It's when our minds get in the way. When we become overly focused on thoughts and material things that make us feel limited or time-bound, we start believing we only have limited options. The realm of the infinite fades into the background of the finite. And we start thinking everyone is living in a very small, contracted world. When we only focus on our needs, we forget how to connect with the soul of others. If we are always thinking about money and more material possessions, we cannot see or feel the infinite reality that is beneath it all. A majority of the rat race is trapped in thinking about time-bound appointments, which causes what? Consciousness to squeeze itself into a tiny temporal boxes. Let's say 4:30 p.m. With this deadline coming, we just don't have time to feel what an eternity is like. When we only live in a limited tick-tock 24-hour clock world that is consumed with resources around money and material items, we instantly start feeling disconnected from the infinite eternal beings we all actually are. This addictive dwelling of the mind of what is not infinite or eternal is what makes us feel spiritually disconnected from every living being on this planet today. We were all born with a limited time-bound physical body so that we could acquire a contrasting perspective and experience ourselves as the infinite eternal beings we actually are. We have the capability to create, manifest, and experience anything we desire. We are all the children of a great universal consciousness, God, that is impregnated with unlimited potentiality. If all this talk about the infinite is expanding your minds too much to handle today, just remember that our inner world is always impacting and manifesting something in our outer world. Every thought we believe to be true is what is creating our reality. Our thoughts are always flowing through us and are always creating everything in our lives. We will become whatever we think in the future. So be aware of your innermost thoughts, and yet somehow remain non-attached. Your thoughts are not who you truly are. You are an eternal, infinite consciousness who is beyond form and time. You are pure awareness, reflecting back on itself in this physical universe of space and time. Let go of thoughts that were cycling in your mind yesterday and ideas about the way life should turn out for you tomorrow. Be here now. Now is the moment of power. Now is where entanglement or enlightenment is discovered. For physically, we are forever forced to exist in this present moment. Our present awareness is always being generated from this present moment. Know this and live and breathe within this knowing. If you want your life to be smoother, fuller, and much more in touch with utter bliss, get in touch with your eternal essence. Let go of any limiting thoughts that you have and drop into the knowingness that you are an infinite soul who will never, ever cease. If you crave for some secure life that is easy and light, give that experience to yourself on the inner world within first. Find out how to soothe yourself emotionally, giving deep, robust, tingling sensations to every corner of your body, mind, and spirit. The great experience of divinity is always available and ready to take you into the higher dimensions. Your greatest life is ready for you here, now. So open yourself up and welcome it in. You will find the infinite within the infinite. Trust the process. Breathe it in. Enjoy every breath you are given. Meditation is a listening with a receptive heart. Buddha. Because in meditation, what we do every day, we listen. That's what meditation is. You concentrate on your breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. You focus just in the now. You focus only on the breath. You listen to the breath. You move into total silence. So meditation is listening with a focused heart. How do you think you'll be when you are within? How do you think you'll be? You won't be projecting. You won't be guessing. You won't be worrying. You won't be fearing. You won't be stressing. You won't be angry. You won't be lonely. All those things will be gone. Because in reality, we are pure consciousness. The God is pure consciousness. The pure consciousness inhabits and learns and experiences. We are beyond creation. Literally beyond creation. And eventually we will learn that we are beyond consciousness. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. Now, we know we're not the body. We know that we're the God within the body. But we know the body carries a lot of things, absorbs a lot of things. Different traumas, come in, fears come in, all kinds of confusion come in. So relaxing the body every single time. When you wake up in the morning, before you open your eyes, before you really move a lot or do anything, listen to your breath. Listen to the breath. That's one of the perfect times to go into a simple meditation. Is where you focus on the breath. You will move into the now. Things will get real quiet. You won't be bothering the mind or the ego. And you'll just be. And you'll listen. And communication will come in. Because I guarantee you, once you connect to your higher self, your inner self, your God, your soul, your spirit, you'll start feeling a bliss that is indescribable. A high, a natural high that is indescribable. And by relaxing these bodies, moving into the now by focusing on our breath and listening, that's how you enter the inner you. And what happens with the body? Well, we know that the body starts dropping all of this stuff because it's just baggage. It doesn't serve us any real purpose. And we collect it. And it just mounts up and up and up. We just keep collecting it. And then, it's in our subconscious mind, then it starts controlling us. So we're constantly cleaning out our closet so that new energy can flow in. Most of the time, the thing that bogs us all down is how much stuff we have accumulated in this life. And I'm not talking about material, physical. I'm talking about all the stuff, all the worry, the stress, the fear, the anxiety, the anger, all of it. And we drag it with us. And there's no reason to. It's like, wow, I got to clean this out because I got a lot of new energy coming in. And there isn't any place for it. I got all this old stuff, dank. Been hanging on to it for years. Don't know why. Oh, wait, here's worry over here about this. Here's stress over here. Here's anxiety. Oh, here's anger. There's a lot of that here. And it's like, it's time to clean out. It's time to clean house and open up the space for new things to come in. This is where we end up blocking ourselves from any abundance of having joyful lives. Now, we have paths. We all have paths. We all take paths. It doesn't matter. We choose paths in this life. I choose to take the path that's the one that's not so much used at all. Others choose to take the path that are safer to them, which is a worn path where many have gone before. But all in all, in most cases, we will end up on the same path. And you see the center path, which is glowing and vibrant and sparkling. The trees are all golden yellow, and it's just beautiful and bright green, the pathway through the trees. And then you look to the left and you see a worn path, which is the past. And you know, it's just not as vibrant, it's not as colorful as the now path. And then on the right, we see the same thing with the future path. And it's worn, and it doesn't have quite the sparkle that it once had. And then the center, of course, is like pristine, it's like new. So which ones do we take the most? Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? A lot of us go into the past. We all have memories. And memories actually help us with, maintain a higher vibrational frequency, because we'll go into our library and our subconscious and we'll reminisce. Oh boy, this was a great time. I'd like to do that again. And then other ones, not too fun, but we say to ourselves, well, this taught me a lot. It taught me not to do it again. Now, a lot of us won't stay there. Well, we won't stay there forever. We leave. But some do stay there. They don't leave. And they stay there so long, they end up dragging it into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past, reliving that past in that future. That's why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Then there's those of us who go to the future, and I don't think any of us are completely exempt from this direction. But when we go in the future, there's no future because the future is created in the now. So we're jumping into something, and we're always asking ourselves, when am I going to have this? When am I going to have enough money? When am I going to be healthy? When am I going to be happy? When am I going to be able to get the things I want? When am I going to be able to stop worrying about not enough money? And this is what we do. And you can see now why the center path, the now, is barely visited. It's barely visited. And that's why it's so important to be in the now and expand the vibrational frequencies on this planet. Now, we know that we're not these bodies, right? We're not the name, we're not the character, we're not the personality. So when we look in these bodies, we see lights. And the lights, roughly about 7, tailbone, top of the head. And they're known as chakras, and chakra means wheel. These are wheels of light. Beautiful colors. Nothing like that you see here on this planet. And they're etheric spiritual energy. We, the gods that we are etheric spiritual energy, so we flow through the body. We flow through the body. And that means what? We know everything about these bodies that we're in. Intimately so. We know everything. Right down to the quantum quark. You see how much you will understand when you go within and stay within. You will discover that you can heal this body in a blink of the eye. And you also begin to understand that you can deflate all of these things in that garage that we put of old worries, stresses, fears, anxieties, angers, revenges, and everything. You could do an inventory and say, wow, I got a lot of stuff in there. I got to get rid of it. How am I going to bring in new energy? How am I going to attract the things I desire, send it out to the universe? There's nothing that I can't fit anything else in here. See? And you'll know when you do that because you become light. You feel like a feather. Now, have you ever done that? You ever just felt just footloose, fancy-free? You didn't have a care in the world. You weren't thinking about anything. You were just floating along. I think we've all been there at least once. That's always a sign to know that your body, the one that you're in, is relaxed. It's at ease, not dis-ease. Now, we know that we have parts of ourselves, right? The gods that we are, not the bodies, but the gods, that are not awake. And they're not going to wake until they decide to wake. Now, they're with us, obviously, because we're all one. But they won't listen or participate in meditations. They're with us, always. So we gravitate towards parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, of consciously aware. Awake, to a certain extent. So consciously aware means that you know this. You're of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. You just inherently know it. You have no question with it. You have no doubt, no fear. You know it, inside out. And it's always imperative for us to stay in the now. And I'm not saying it's easy, because we got tens of millions of thoughts floating all over the place. They're programs, they're not ours. We have a whole nother bucket of thoughts that the body has accumulated subconscious mind, all the relatives and all the people and everything throughout your life as that body was growing. And all the influences of all their thoughts and all their directions. You see how things happen? We have all these. Then we have 60,000 plus thoughts that we generate every 24 hours. And you can see how people can get so confused and misguided. And a lot of the times, basically, lost. If you were let's put it this way. If any of us were in a dark forest where it's pitch black at night, your eyes can't pick up any light. And there's no moon because it's overcast. Or there's no moon because it's a new cycle for the moon. And everything is just absolutely pitch black. You can't see your hand in front of your face. You can't see the ground. You can't see your feet take a step forward. What is generated then through the ego mind? Fear. Fear starts coming in. And then for a while you're going, what am I going to do? What if I get, hurt myself? What if I fall down? What if there's an animal out there that will attack me? All these things through the ego mind come running through you. But then with the fear, all of a sudden you experience courage. You say to yourself, you know what? I don't have any fear of walking in this dark, in this forest. I'll just keep moving forward. Eventually I'll come to a clearing, and then I'll determine where to go from there. You see? That's when we're in the dark like that. That's when we are forced to use our senses. We don't use them a lot. We have a handful of senses, so we don't use them a lot. Knowing that something is there, we all have that ability. In the darkest of the darkest, we have the ability to know that something's there. We also have the ability, it's like our built-in radar, where we can navigate so we don't bang or bump into it. All of us have this power, right in this now. Some people, like the dark forest, live their lives in fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of all the wonderful possibility. So whenever you find yourself, grabbing one of the clouds that passes by of a thought that's not yours, and you wander out of the now, always be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself, and then 24-7 gratitude. And you say, I'll focus on my breath, I'll be in the now. And that's how it works. Now all the souls gathered from every reach of existence, all one, all knowing, all of the ones that are consciously aware, of course, they come in googleplexes. And one googleplex will fill this universe with not even one sacred square inch of space to spare. Now they come in trillions of googleplexes from trillions of universes from every direction. That's the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath it. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, celestials, galactics. All light energy beings on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. Because of the eyes that we have with these bodies, we don't see but 1% of what is. But with all the different light spectrums and everything, there are many light energy beings. We just don't see them. But there is a group, a small group, that we're very familiar with because with some of these, we interact with them on a daily basis. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many others. We use water, don't we? If we didn't have water, would we be able to stay in these bodies? No. If we didn't have air, would we stay in these bodies? No. So we're intimately connected to the celestial energies, the etheric energy. The mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Many, many, many. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. Boy, do we interact with them, though. We've been interacting with them for lifetimes. And when we do meet with them, a lot of the times, we know that there's something different. It's just not a happenstance where you talk with someone and, okay, I see you, type thing. And you feel it. Doesn't mean you always zero in on it. But sometimes, after the interaction with this particular angel, you say to yourself, that was an angel. There's no doubt about it. Emphatically so. Now, they deliver a message to us. And this message is brought in many different ways. But deciphering it to its most simplest form or content, isn't it absolutely magna, glorious, spectacular, stupendous to be alive in these bodies? I think, it's interesting because when you talk with a spirit who has left the body, you have conversation with them because they still have the essence, the memory of having that life, of living that life with that particular body. And they say, I spent most of my time worrying, stressing, and fearing. I never really got the chance to really, truly enjoy my life. Now I'm out of the body. The life is over. The life that body represented is over. And they can't taste, we can't taste. We can't smell. We don't feel, not like you can in physical form. We don't eat. We don't drink. We don't sleep. We don't get tired. We don't have any of that. There's no time element or anything. You see the huge difference? And so why do you think we get so attached to these bodies and we want to stay in them? And then we're so fearful toward the end when the body can no longer function, we have to leave it. And then we're really, frightened. Because we don't know who and what we are is the only reason why we're frightened. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in tens of thousands or tens of millions. All you got to do is ask them. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And you ask them tens of thousands, tens of millions, whatever you want, instantaneous. There you'll experience bliss. Now, the Ascended Masters, they have mastered physical. Ascended physical, mastered physical. Ascend out of physical. Hold pure consciousness, God form. Now, we have ascended into physical form, are mastering physical form, creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, all the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials, again, we're familiar with a real small group because over 1,000 species travel through the solar system every day and trillions throughout the universes every day. And then this small group that we're familiar with, Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. Now, this particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're all gathered arm in arm, hand in hand, so to speak, as far as existence is existence and beyond. We're all focused on this little blue planet on the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy. It is for its full liberation for the first time ever. Inside now, head to toe. All the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, elimination. Higher and higher frequencies are flooding the planet due to our decision to up our vibrational frequencies. And so as ours go up, Gaia decides to bring hers up. This is all harmonistic. Now, we all form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia. Are you? In this now. Where does the light come from? It comes from within each and every one of us. The God source, the God, the kingdom of God, the heaven. It comes from us. And it is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to just come close to its brightness. And we're flooding this planet, head to toe, inside and out, with this highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Can't escape it. It is unending. And we begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. It is. It's like a grand finale fireworks show, a massive laser light show, all flashing and sparkling. It's so fast it seems like it's still. And we're all curious about the reflective points, so we go in and we see that they're perfectly etched tiny little mirrors. So we enter them and discover that all of us, throughout all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, and those consciously aware to a certain extent, are learning and teaching from each other on a continual basis endlessly. We're either learning from each other, teaching each other, teaching, learning, learning, teaching, both, forever. You can be walking along a pavement and see a leaf stuck to the pavement. What can you learn from that leaf? As silly as it may seem to some people, you can learn it's never ending. How to be relaxed like that tree over there. Watch as the wind hits it and it bends and it sways, but it doesn't break. Okay? Watch the other tree that breaks. It can't bend or sway. It's too stiff, so it will break. Same with squirrels around this time of year. Same with a lot of animals. Storing, getting their food together and storing. Bug in a rug, fly on the wall, spider. I mean, it's endless. Not only humanoid, but every form of life, which is the highest supreme value in the universe. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the power of healing. Not quite there yet. Then we're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with a white fire. This is a column of light that reminds us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected 24/7. Non-stop. This armor, it's a white fire armor. It's nothing like you would see on this planet. It's way beyond that. And it emanates from the God Force Love Light energy within each and every one of us. It's impenetrable. No lower dark matter, survival matter, frequency, demon possession, or any attachments can come near us. They come near us. Why do you think that the dark forces are always trying to agitate the rest of us? Always trying to keep us anxiety-filled, fear-filled, stress-filled, anger-filled. Why do you think that is? So they can invade us. So they can manipulate us. So they can feed off of us. You know how important it is to stay in higher frequencies as much as possible, no matter what is occurring outside you? Now, if you decide to lower your vibrational frequencies low enough, only you have the power. Through hatred, greed, anger, stress, fear, envy, hurriedness, revenge, manipulation, dishonesty, you will create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow Lord dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then you have the possibilities of possession, of attachment, many other things. But if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. The first part of that column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. We are then met with the other part of the column of light, the violet ray. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that the gods in these bodies are the sun, are the sunlight, are the sun rises, the sun sets, the rain and the rainbows, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the animals, the trees, the forests. We are everything. Everything is us. Always has been. Always will be. So the next time you do see a sunset, or a sunrise, or a rainbow, or a mountain view, or an ocean front, or a new snowfall, it is you. It is the God that you are. It is all of us. We're the beauty, the majesty, the divineness. We're the splendor. So the next time you do see that, that is the God that I am. We continue to ascend above this planet, and some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it, if we're carrying physical form. And why do we do this? Well, because we can. We come in full contact with a massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. Now, in the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white bowl of light. It is surrounded by numerous ribbons or rings of multicolored lights. And they're all sending this massive mist. It's a cloud, it's electrified, it's glittering, it's beautiful. And it slowly absorbs into us. And it's like a warm embrace that never ends. We then discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, great wealth, great well-being, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And all of it is a reflection of the gods that we all are. At the top of the column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's been doing and is still doing and will continue throughout infinity doing, flooding all of us, saturating all of us, bathing all of us. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. This is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, deepest, and the purest of the purest, purest, eternal love. Now, we're drops of this golden ocean, and we also hold the essence of this golden ocean. The drops of the golden ocean is the drops. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We created this sphere, moving towards 4 years ago with over 1,700 of our meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations don't die. They don't disintegrate. They don't weaken. They do the opposite. They intensify and expand. They're infinity. They flood us 24/7. Always. Ever you want to tap into them? Find a place to sit, be quiet, focus on your breath, and listen. This is why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it is continuously expanding, growing, becoming more and more powerful. The essence of eternal life is flowing within each and every one of us right now. Look. Where does it come from? If you dive just a bit deeper today, you'll be presented with something extraordinary, an essence that contains an infinity of magical possibilities. This is why. This is who you really are. I'll join you in meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose, and an easy breath out the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Dive all the way in. Explore going down to the bottom of your deepest, darkest trench and muck inside. There will you discover that which will lead you deeper to your core. Just for about 5 minutes today. Hang out with your dark stuff. Get to know its vibration. Being with the contracted parts of yourself assists you in knowing what it is you are to transcend. Take this with you for the rest of the day and the evening and night, following morning. And we will return here Sunday, November 21, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation